Ain't no dub, ain't no L on my crew. Only winning is exception on my crew. Yeah. Ain't no dub, ain't no L. I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Ay, yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Ay, yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah, and I hit that.
Sometimes you need a friend, not the ones that just show up and don't put nothing in. You know the ones that lend their hand and want to see you win. When you come up on that lick, make sure you cut them in. And then, sometimes you need a foe, one to keep your eyes open, keep you on your toes. You know the ones that want to keep you where you've been before. But I can't go, no I can't go. And whoa, sometimes I need a check, not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step. I like your respect. Getting more than what I get, expecting nothing back. In fact, you know, I sat down with my accountant. He said, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, what's the good news? He said, the good news is you made a lot. I said, what's the bad news? The bad news is you spent more. Okay. Look, sometimes you need the faith.
Tonight, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play. Holding them with no gain.
And all the way home for the Broncos score. A big play there. With touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. 78 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
Jeremy Chin there defensively. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say, those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one.
7-7.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight. And this one is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Fielded just inside the 30. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Now a handoff looking right. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's now 3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And the Browns 1st down.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
49-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route.
Complete.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
It's a gain of 9.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Broncos 29-yard line.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The toss here completed to Pittman. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Makes the score Broncos 16, Browns 10.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down the defense.
At their own 29-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos push further out in front.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taken right on the 30. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the score line. 31-7, the final score. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders.
Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He's got his big tight end fan. Not much there, only a yard.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And all the way home to the Broncos score. A big play there. 54 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
For the extra point.
That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. When an offense reads blitz, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
10 yards on the...
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking with the big behemoths starting to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first.
He was tackled.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
A loss of 7 yards.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized, you know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you, you know. If people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Rolling to his right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll try and run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And this Browns defense stands tall. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophy, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He'll get this one to Pittman. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Under pressure, and down he goes.
8 yards. It's 2nd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
That one looks like he'll throw here. It's caught at the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point hung the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film. All that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Jamie Gillendown as he's on to punt for Cleveland. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Intended for number 81. Incomplete. Sets up 4th down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Again, he'll drop to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Now back to throw. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
3rd down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. As time has run out on this football game.
Broncos 51.
Big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
She's not going to wait for you to build a ship. She already hailed the inspection team and not miss her anymore. She's planning on you coming soon. What if those four were you,
I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning team. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to pick at me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the